Welcome to the OVA vlog. Today we are kicking off a three-part series with my dear friend Heather Shore, and we're talking about three very different experiences Heather has had over the last 5 years, two of which are pregnancy related and one of which is about entrepreneurship. So
That's right.
Different but very powerful, and stories that we really hope help other women.
Thank you. Thank you. It's
welcome.
an honor to be with you and talking to you, as you are one of my favorite people. So you are.
Heather recently went through a pregnancy, and we are going to talk just a little bit about what happened and like what you went through in the last couple of months.
In the last about 11 months ago now, I found out I was pregnant. I was very excited. We ended up going to the first ultrasound, which was great. They confirmed babe was doing great. But at the 24-week ultrasound, the doctor had discovered that there was an omphalocele.
And what that, just because I don't know, some people might not know what an omphalocele is.
Yep.
It's when the organs are outside of
the abdominal cavity.
Okay.
So, and that can range from one organ to a few organs, to all organs are outside and just contained in a very thin layer of skin. A membrane, exactly. And many babies are born with an omphalocele, and then they do a wrap and wait, and babies, eventually the omphalocele goes back into the abdominal cavity and they live healthy, happy lives. But in our case, and in other people's cases, sometimes that's indicative of another chromosomal issue, which in our case was trisomy 18, which is another term for Edwards syndrome. And essentially that's it means that baby's brain is not it doesn't develop at the same rate. That there are a number of physical attributes that are malformed. In Emily's case, and we decided to name her Emily after that visit. In her case, we were referred to another team, okay, so that they could do a very prolonged and detailed second ultrasound. And in her case, she had rocker bottom feet, which is indicative of trisomy 18. Her heart had turned. It was growing actually on the opposite side. There were a couple of other things, and that was over the span of about 4 weeks, that between getting the diagnosis of an omphalocele, having that indicative of a trisomy 18 chromosomal issue, and then having that confirmed, that was about 3 weeks, and then a week after she was confirmed to have this defect, she actually passed away in my womb. So she didn't make it, and that's the case for maybe 60%.
Okay.
And I studied everything I could get my hands on in that short amount of time.
What resources during that time were the most helpful for you?
I think for me, just because I think it depends on the person, but for me, because everything else felt completely out of control, I wanted to have some semblance of control. I found some really great groups where real people have had this happen, and it's rare. So the only place you can really assemble right now is online. But I think what was really important for me was hearing the experiences of the moms and the families on Facebook groups, and specifically the MOOs, which is Mothers of Omphaloceles. And because those people spoke, that's why I'm speaking.
Yeah.
Because I think people need to talk about it.
Were there things that your friends or family did that you found most supportive?
One of the things that I'll talk about later pretty in detail is that my care team was super important. My midwife, I met with several midwives at the Minnesota Birth Center, and Dr. Calvin, again, their support, and I think, from the friend perspective, so healthcare providers, that was huge for me in my experience.
Pillar,
that was the pillar.
Okay.
And for friends, I think listening and talking about it like it didn't, like it happened.
Okay.
Like we're losing Emily, and that's a reality, and it's important.
Well, I thank you for sharing that experience. We, in the next video, we'll talk more about the giving birth aspect of this experience, and we'll have links to the Facebook groups that Heather found to be the most helpful. So definitely check those out. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.